So it won't just be one-off tricks, it will be a whole dance put together to a song. Doug Engler here with Anime-Zing Radio at the Vermont Winter Renaissance Fair. We're having a lot of fun here, and today we are joined by
Natalie Cronin.
And Natalie is an aerial performer. We just watched her performance and we wanted to talk with her because you do some amazing stuff up there. And how long has it taken you to get to the point where you're at now?
It's been almost 4 years I've been training, and so it's really like a dedicated practice that can enable you to progress quickly, more so than it is doing it forever.
And you work with the World Tree Aerial Dance Company here in Burlington.
That's correct.
And what got you interested in doing this?
I kind of reached my mid-20s and I was kind of losing some of my natural strength and flexibility, and I wanted a great way to practice and regain all that strength. And it was just kind of came to me. I saw a performance at a music festival and I'm like, I have to do that. That's what I want to be doing. And I started driving to Montreal every weekend, take classes every single weekend until I finally knew enough to start training on my own.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what's some of the fun parts about being a performer?
It's just all the different kinds of events that are happening in Burlington. You get to see all the cool stuff people are putting on, and it's really great diverse area to live in, even though we're a pretty small town. So I like that.
You gotta have a great view from up there too.
Oh yeah, I can see every tent in this expo center.
Now, how high do you normally go with the performance tripods? Is this a typical height for it?
I would say this is pretty typical. It's 18, 20 feet is the max I can set this to. And there's our tallest training space in Burlington is only 15 feet, so this is a nice treat because it's extra height to play with.
And what's the highest that you've actually performed on? Have you gone higher than this?
I've probably performed as high as 25 feet. It's probably the highest I've ever performed, which would be at 85 to 8 feet taller than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said you've performed all over the place. What are some of your favorite events to go to?
I just when event organizers email me, I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. That sounds awesome. I've done Festival of Fools. I've done Burlington Business Association dinners. I've done a Carnival Virgins. So just different coordinators in the Vermont area will message me, and I'm like, that sounds awesome. Let's do that.
Awesome. And you stay locally to Vermont, or have you gone to New York and other states?
I've done one small scale performance in Quebec, but for the most part, it's Burlington area event coordinators that are reaching out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So for our viewers out there, how can they get a hold of you if they're interested in seeing a performance or if they want to train with you guys?
So if they want to see a performance, they can email us at worldtreeyoga.org, and same for classes. We've got our schedules posted, great for beginners. Introduction classes are for people with no experience, no background, and you'll gain the strength and flexibility as you take the classes. So really no background required.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure. We enjoyed the show. And keep doing what you're doing because it's an amazing feat. You don't see many people doing it anymore.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank you. Doug Engler here with Anime-Zing. We're at the Vermont Winter Renaissance Fair. And we are here with the Lawn Kids.
Yes, that's us. Hello.
And they're stilt walkers. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we are based out of Brattleboro, Vermont. We are an independent art organization.
Yeah, we do stilt walking and storytelling at a lot of different fairs and festivals, grand fairs, a lot of stuff like that. They've got a lot of circuits around the New England area.
And how long have you guys been stilt walking?
Cassie's been at this about 13 years.
Yes, 15 years, and then I taught you. Yeah. It's good fun.
Not often I feel short. I'll say that right now.
Have that right up.
I felt it.
And what got you guys interested in stilt walking?
I started taking classes at the New England Center for Circus Arts, and then I started making my own work in my own ability, and continued on with the stilt walking, and then Riley came along and contributed his tall tales to tall walking as well. So
Seemed only fitting to raise up a little bit higher in the world.
Now I see you guys have to stay moving on those to help keep your balance, right?
Yes. Yes, so since it's only 1.5 back on the ground,
if they're interested in getting in contact with you guys, how can they do that?
So we are Longshank Stories on Facebook. You can find us pretty easily there. What's our email?
And you can email us at longshankstories@gmail.com.
And what are some of the other events that you guys have done? Is there a lot of indoor events, a lot of fairs, things
We
like that?
actually do a lot of outdoor events. So like being indoors is a little bit rare for us. But we've done parades, we've done private parties, we've done all sorts of things. There's a couple of nursing homes with stories on them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can find us in May at the New Hampshire Renaissance Festival. It'll be our next big fair.
And we're originally from the Massachusetts area. Have you done King Richard's Fair?
We've heard really great things about it.
I've been there a couple of times. It's a fun event to see that they have their own property when the buildings are up year round. And it goes for about 2 months. They do it like a big 2 months.
Yeah, I've heard really great things about it. We're hoping this year we have the Massachusetts Fair as well. So hopefully we'll see that.
Oh, we live up north now, but it's kind of neat to just be up here and see these events going on. And I wish you guys best of luck. We look forward to seeing you at more events.
And you as well.
Thank you so much. Doug Engler here with Anime-Zing Radio at the Vermont Renaissance Fair, and we are here with,
Beth Tenney. And Amelia Tenney.
and they are one of the amazing vendors here at the event this weekend. And tell all of our viewers a little bit about yourself.
I do flowers, as you can see. It's one of my side jobs. So I went to the Renaissance Fair this last summer, and I liked it so much that I decided I would get into making hairpieces and things. I've done it for weddings, I've done it for christenings, or actually not christenings, but baptisms. And I had a lot of ideas, and that's where this all came from.
Awesome. And the stuff in here looks amazing. How long does it take you to create some of these?
Some of these are as low as 30 minutes. Some of these are up to a couple hours, depending on the complexity. Some of like the one I'm wearing is made out of what they call Texas grass. So I actually have to soak it in the bathtub to soften it before I even start braiding it. So that takes a little longer.
And all of these are handmade?
Yes.
Wow.
Everything is handmade. Start with a piece of wire and go from there.
And what got you interested in creating these?
I love flowers. I love making people smile with flowers. Like I said, I love weddings. My Pinterest is full of wedding pictures of flowers and hair pieces, and yeah, it seems to be genetic. We have a lot of gardeners and things in our family too, so
A lot of creators in our family.
a lot of artists. Yeah, it's kind of a genetic thing.
And you said you were telling us off camera, this is your first event vending?
Yes, this is my first Renaissance fair.
And what has it been like for setup and stuff today for?
So we set up last night, my husband and I. It went very smoothly, except for the discussion of how we were going to set up in here. But this morning I came in and finished setting up. It was smooth, no problems. It was very easy. Everybody's oohed and awed at my things, and I've been checking everybody else's stuff out too as we're going by.
And for our viewers out there, how can they find you if they're interested in ordering any pieces?
I am on Facebook, so they can Facebook message me. I do have a email account. They can email me. They can just take a look at what I have, and if they would like something custom made, or if they want something made, they can. Well, I like certain number 105, but I want it in a different color, and we can talk and discuss and figure out what they need, and I can make them whatever they'd like.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time. We don't want to deter any of the customers from you, but thank you so much, and you have some amazing stuff.
All right, thank you.
Engler here at the Vermont Renaissance Fair. We're having a lot of fun. We found another terrific vendor here, and you are?
I'm Melissa, and this is Chicken Fried Quilter.
And we've met Melissa at a few different events up here in the northern Vermont area and Plattsburgh Comic-Con last year. For the viewers out there who don't know you, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I do this as a side thing. I full-time accounting work, and for the most part, I make stuffed animals with a little bit of key fobs and card decals.
Awesome. What got you interested in doing the plushies and stuff that we see here?
I made one for my older daughter for her birthday and found it kind of fun after having been terrified to make it, and the rest is kind of history.
And now, do you have a certain influence as to what you want to make? I see a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff here with Cat Bus that we actually got from you at Plattsburgh that our daughter loves.
For the most part, it's whatever strikes my fancy that day. Be like, oh, this looks really cute. Oh, that I have that color and it would look great. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Awesome. And how long have you been making these and vending?
Vending, I'm coming into my 4th year.
Awesome. Has it been a lot of fun to get into this world as opposed to the accounting that you use?
Accounting is accounting. I found my crowd, and once I found my crowd, that made this a whole lot more fun to go to and do, and seeing reactions, even if it's somebody that doesn't buy, where they're like, you're my new favorite person in the whole wide world. It's so exciting, and that's what makes it fun and interesting.
And we've had a lot of fun at the other events that we've seen you at Plattsburgh. We live in Plattsburgh, so for Plattsburgh Comic-Con, like I said, we had gotten the Cat Bus for our daughter, which she has that in her bed, sleeps with every night. And the little craft fair that we vended back in December, our daughter made you dance on the floor.
Yep.
She danced with everybody.
Yep.
And how long does it take you to make some of the stuffies that we see here?
It can be 30 minutes to over an hour.
And how many of them do you produce for a show like this, for say this particular piece here?
It kind of depends on where I'm at for time. I try to do, everything is usually multiples of 2 because there's pieces that cut out 1, so when you cut out 1, you cut out 2. So I mean, it kind of depends on where I'm at on stock and how much time I have left until the next show. So.
And for our viewers out there, how can they find you if they're interested in getting some of your stuff?
I currently only am on Facebook, so facebook.com/chickenfriedquilter. You can shoot me a message there. I travel through New York and Vermont. I usually try to list where I'm going next for a show on my Facebook page. And right now I don't have a lot of online sales because of stuff outside of this side gig.
Okay, that's totally understandable. And what's the next event that you have going on if people want to find you?
I'm actually in Plattsburgh next. April 4th at the mall is a card and comic show, and I will be there. And then after that, I am back in Vermont for the Sci-Fi Fantasy Expo at the end of April.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We love the work that you do,
Thank you.
We're happy that we were able to come on with us today.
Yay!
Doug Engler here with Anime-Zing Radio at the Vermont Winter Renaissance Fair. We are here at Painted Flower Farm Art with the artist. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
And for our listeners or viewers out there, I'm used to being on the radio, so for our viewers out there, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I live in central Maine, in the forest, and came out here. This is my 3rd Ren Fair, so did a couple last year, and I'm just like hooked on Ren Fairs now. They're the best. They're so much fun. So I paint on all kinds of different nature things, skulls, shell mushrooms, wood. So yeah.
And how long have you been painting?
I've been painting for over 20 years.
Wow. You've got a lot of fantastic stuff here.
Thank you.
Little Hobbit house. How long did it take you to create something like this?
This was probably about 15 hours total. I made
idea to use nature as a canvas?
It's the perfect canvas. Yeah, and mushrooms. You know, just something different that isn't just a square, flat thing. It gives it depth, and it's fun to like work
You can
with
see
the
it.
shapes.
It is a real mushroom as well.
Yep.
And so you find these right in your backyard?
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it just, you get a different feeling when you work with something. You kind of almost feel like it's an entity on its own. So it just makes it a lot more special than just a regular flat.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely fantastic. For viewers out there, because I know you're getting busy, so we don't want to take you away from the patrons, how can everybody out there find you?
So yeah, you can find me. It's Painted Flower Farm Art, and on Etsy, Instagram, or Facebook. Yeah, Painted Flower Farm Art. And yeah, so I'm in Central Maine, and I do festivals all over New England and things like that. So if anybody knows of any good places for vending some nature art, I'm always interested in hearing about new places. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. For our viewers out there, everybody know a little bit about you guys and what you do.
So we're based out of Jeffersonville, Vermont. We make 9 different spirits, all handmade in Vermont.
And you make everything yourself in-house?
Yeah.
Awesome. And how long have you guys been in business?
They opened their doors in 2010.
And what was the idea behind creating the distillery?
Well, Jeremy, the owner, is a pharmaceutical chemist by nature, so that's what he went to school for. So he has a passion for mixing things and creating. Yeah.
Now, what's some of the more popular flavors?
Lately, the maple bourbon has been really selling well. I think part of it is just the cold weather. People like that just subtle essence of maple in their bourbon. We're definitely known for our vodka as well. It's what they started the company with.
Awesome. Now, how many different types of alcohol do you make?
9 different types.
9 different types?
And then they do specialty releases throughout the year. So next fall they're planning on releasing, I think, a maple rum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And how can people out there find you guys if they're not in the area?
So they can visit any of our 3 stores. We're based in Burlington. We're on Church Street. We are in Waterbury next to the Cabot Cheese Factory. And then our original store is in Jeffersonville. That's where they make the product.
And
You can also find us online, smugglersnotch.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Doug Ingler here with Anime-Zing Radio at the Vermont Winter Renaissance Fair, and we were here with Vermont Gatherings' own Jeff Full. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for the event you put on today. We've had a lot of fun. It's been an amazing time getting to talk with everybody, see everything that's been going on. How has things been on your side?
Good. So this is the 4th year of this event. It's one of 8 events we do a year, including the Summer Renaissance Fair and the Sci-Fi Fantasy Expo. And this has been a great event. It's kind of a unique indoor Renaissance fair. We've got a big, beautiful venue. We've had a great turnout of Danes and Rennies.
Yeah.
We've got a lot going on with our vendors and our performers, and it's a nice chance for people, whether they're fans or not beforehand, to come out in the middle of winter and try something different. You know, get out of the cabin, so to speak, and have some fun.
And we know a lot of people who have been complaining of being locked up in the winter and going nuts. So it's great to have events like this that you can put on so people can gather. And we've talked to many different vendors about the friendships that develop through this and stuff. I'm sure you yourself have seen a lot of people who have met through your events and become friends. And
It very much is a community. It's a community that exists of individuals beforehand, because nobody knows that anybody else kind of is there until they start meeting at a venue or at an event like this, and meeting each other and realizing there's other people, who are Rennies and nerds and geeks and want to do the same thing, and that just builds the community stronger. My wife and I met at a Renaissance fair 20 years ago. Most of our friends are involved in some aspect of vending and performing and that type of thing. So it really is as much as we have the open family to open to everyone. This really is a community.
It is, and it's one thing that we love about it is, as vendors and table people, and you develop the friendships with the different vendors and stuff. A lot of people who just show up at these events think everybody's out for themselves, or you go to an anime or comic convention, every artist is competing against every other artist, even though that's not true.
That's not true. And with us doing multiple events in different but overlapping genres, so having the Winter Renaissance Fair, the Summer Renaissance Fair, the Sci-Fi Fantasy Expo, the Steampunk Show, we're getting a lot of crossover of patrons, of vendors, of performers, whether they tweak their show a little bit or different product lines, but you're starting to see the same face at multiple events on both sides of the vendors table. And that's great.
And I think that's one of the cool things as well, like you said, putting on the multitude of variety of different events. you're able to expand not just to the Renaissance crowd, but you've got the sci-fi fantasy crowd, you've got the anime crowd, you've got people from all over the fandoms that are able to get together. And we've been to a couple of events that you put on, and personally I can say you put on a very well put on show.
Thank you.
And we've seen shows where people are just too concerned about one aspect or another aspect and things like that. But you guys put on an aspect where everybody feels welcome.
People laugh at me sometimes. You got to make the patrons happy. Blah blah blah. Our foremost goal is to make our vendors and our performers happy. Because if the vendors and performers are happy, the patrons will be happy. Because if you walk in and everybody has a smile on their face when you walk in their booth or you see a show, it becomes infectious. So if you're just worried about how many people you're going to get through that gate, are people really having a good time? Are they going to come back? Are they going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
If you make sure that they enjoy it and have a good time and they're smiling and they're meeting people, they're going to come back. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh yeah. But I want to thank you again so much for having us here today. We've had a blast.
Great.
And for our viewers out there in YouTube land, let everybody know about the events you have coming on, where they can find out more about Vermont Gatherings and everything that you guys do.
So our website is www.vtgatherings.com. All of our events are on Facebook. We're at the Winter Renaissance Fair now. The end of April is the Sci-Fi Fantasy Expo. The end of, June is the Summer Renaissance Fair up in Stowe. The end of July is the Living History Expo here at the fairgrounds. And then we'll have a few more events, including the Haunted Sleigh Ride coming up this fall.
Awesome. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you again.
Great. Talk to you soon.
Definitely.